So, what if I told you that some of your most cherished memories, well, they might not be entirely true? Today, we're diving into one of the most fundamental and surprisingly fragile parts of who we are, our memory. And spoiler alert, it is definitely not the reliable archive you think it is.
I mean, think about it for a second. Pick a memory, maybe your last birthday or what you had for breakfast this morning. Does it feel like you're just pressing play on a perfect, crystal clear recording of that moment? For most of us, the answer is yes. It's such a common idea, right? That our brain is this incredible high definition video camera, just capturing our life experiences with flawless accuracy. But you know what? The science tells a completely different and, frankly, a much, much weirder story.
All right, so where does this whole perfect recording idea start to crumble? Well, it begins with something we are all very, very familiar with. Just plain old forgetting. The first person to really map this out was a psychologist way back in the 19th century named Hermann Ebbinghaus. And he gave us this concept called the forgetting curve, which is a really striking visual of just how fast our grip on new information loosens up if we don't actively try to hold on to it.
And here it is. Just look at how steep that drop is right at the beginning. It's not some gentle, gradual slope. We're talking about a massive chunk of information vanishing within the first hour after you learn something new. Kind of humbling, isn't it?
But forgetting isn't always passive. It's not just memories fading into nothing. Sometimes it's more like an active battle inside our own minds, where different memories are literally competing with each other. This whole process is called interference.
And this comes in two main flavors. You've got proactive interference. That's when an old memory gets in the way of a new one. Think of your old password making it hard to remember the new one you just set. Then there's retroactive interference, which is the exact opposite. Learning that new password actually makes you forget the old one. This is a perfect example of that mental traffic jam. So let's say you have an old friend named Julie, and you meet someone new named Judy. When your brain gets stuck and you accidentally call Judy Julie, that's proactive interference. The old memory is getting in the way. And when trying to remember Judy's name makes you blank on your old friend's name for a second, that's retroactive. Happens to all of us. Okay, so memories can fade and they can get blocked. But it gets so much stranger than that. What if I told you they can be actively rewritten, like editing a Word document, and you often have no idea it's even happening? Yeah, this isn't just a theory. This idea was really proven in a famous study that absolutely shook the world of psychology. Two researchers, Elizabeth Loftus and John Palmer, were about to show that our memory was way more flexible and way more fragile than anyone had ever imagined. And what they uncovered is now known as the misinformation effect. Basically, it's the tendency for our memories of an event to get contaminated or corrupted by things we learn after the event happened. And the implications for this, especially when you think about eyewitness testimony in a courtroom, are just enormous. So here's the genius of what they did. They showed people a video of a car accident. Then they asked one group how fast the cars were going when they hit each other, but they asked a second group how fast the cars were going when they smashed into each other. That one single word change had a massive effect. The smashed group didn't just guess higher speeds. A week later, many of them falsely remembered seeing broken glass at the scene, glass that was never even there. As Elizabeth Loftus herself said, our memories can be contaminated, colored, and changed by things we're told after the fact. It's incredible. A leading question can actually plant a memory of something that never happened. So, memories can fade, they can get blocked, and they can even be rewritten. But oh, the mind's tricks don't stop there. Let's run through a few other common everyday games our memory plays on us.
This feeling. We have all been here. That absolutely maddening sensation when you know a word or a name is right there, but you just can't quite grab it.
It's called the tip of the tongue phenomenon. And it's not that the memory is actually gone. It's what's called a retrieval failure. The info is still in your brain, but the pathway to get to it is just temporarily offline. It's like you know the file is on your computer, but the search function is broken.
Okay, next up, source amnesia. This is a big one. It's when you remember a fact, but you have absolutely no idea where you learned it. Did you read it in a newspaper? Did a friend tell you? Or did you just see it in a random meme on the internet? That confusion is source amnesia in action. And this one is truly wild. Imagination inflation.
Studies show that this simple act of vividly imagining an event that never actually happened can make you more and more confident that it was a real memory. Seriously, your brain can start to lose track of the difference between something you actually experienced and something you just made up in your head. All of which brings us back to a much, much better metaphor. Your memory isn't a video camera recording reality with perfect precision. It's way more like a creative storyteller. It takes the most important bits and pieces of an experience and then weaves them into a story. And like any good storyteller, it sometimes edits, it adds little details, and it reconstructs the whole tale to make it flow better.
So, what's the big takeaway here? Well, it's that our memories are not these stable, concrete records of the past. They're alive, they fade really fast, they battle with each other for our attention, and maybe most unsettling of all, they can be completely changed by a simple suggestion. Our minds are constantly blending fact, fiction, and straight-up imagination.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. If our memory is this fluid, this editable, what does that really mean for the story you tell yourself about yourself? How much of that personal history you carry around in your head is fact, and how much of it might just be a beautiful, necessary fiction?